In this video, I want to give you 17 ideas on how you can repurpose your episodes into image content. Coming up. What's going on, everybody? My name is Kareem Mustafa, one of the co-founders at Tribe Tactics and author of the book Original Series. And in this series of videos, we want to help you get all the information you need to plan and grow your very own original series. So today's topic is we're going to be zooming in specifically on how to repurpose content in image form once you have your full episodes done. So let's jump right in. Let's show some love to images, right? Because images are a lot faster to consume than video, if you think about it. And many times they can capture value in a way that other formats quite can't do, not exactly in the same way. And besides, they're just so easy and fun to create that it makes it a no-brainer for us to include them in any repurposing activities we're going to be getting involved in as a company. One of my favorite things about image content is that it makes it easy to focus on something in particular, whether it's a specific quote that you want to draw attention to, or a specific, three-step process that, your guest shared about something that they've learned, or just anything in particular that you really wish to put focus on and almost have like a frozen moment in time to really go through that and get people to really understand the value in that. So the first example is question and answer image quotes. This is very easy to do. You can look at any parts within your video that have a question and an answer together, and you can kind of use them or consider them a unit in and within themselves and be able to repurpose them based on that. Some examples of that is to, for example, have the question in your caption when you're posting the social media post, and the actual answer could be in the post. Or of course you can have the question and answer in the image quote directly, or you can remix it and come up with your own versions of how you can portray the question and answer format together. Especially when you're in business, you want to draw attention to any statistics or any industry trends that are on the rise or that are eye-catching for your audience. And this is where statistics images work great. So consider finding all the parts where there was, X% of something, or 3x this, or 4x that. Anything that, you thought is numerical and could really capture the sentiment of what's going on in the market right now, or that would be something that's eye-opening for your audience. Consider adding those as image quotes in and within themselves. The other thing you can do is look at all the parts where any brand names were dropped, right? So whether it's by yourself as the host of the show, or whether it's by your guests. Maybe it's, maybe somebody talked about a company that is really excelling in the space, or they're really doing something right. Or maybe it's a cautionary tale. But you probably want to focus on the positives. So if you do have any brands that were mentioned in a positive light, make sure that you focus on that and really use it as an opportunity to create an image content piece around it. Of course, it won't hurt to actually include testimonials every now and then. If there was any testimonials that were mentioned within the episode, you can make sure to draw attention to those by, again, consolidating them into a separate image quote by itself. And you hear us talking about this one a lot. Step-by-step image quotes are also great to really give practical value in a very easy-to-consume way to people, especially for people who are looking to get the highlights of your episode before they necessarily jump right in. Perhaps during the episode, your guest said something that was inspirational or motivational. This could be a great way, again, to create some form of engaging value that's not directly educational, but rather something that is, again, like I said, like inspirational or, gives, an uplift really to any other content that was already flowing in the newsfeed. Something that's a lot more motivational and inspiring could really catch people's attention. So if you do find something like that in your show, you obviously can't force it, but if it is naturally there, definitely makes sense to highlight it and create that as an image content within itself. Another one that you can consider is any hot topic mentions or trend mentions. Again, if there's any specific topics that are going on right now that people are already, tuning into, or any trends that people are following on the news in your specific industry, or even more broadly than that, find ways to actually repurpose image content that would address that topic or see how that topic was discussed within the episode, because more often than not, that's going to catch people's attention, because especially even if they haven't come across your show before, they definitely would have come across that trend or that topic before, and maybe they're interested to see, what thought leaders on your show had to say about that specific piece. Another one you can do is guest reacting to host or reaction image quotes. So the way to think about this one is maybe you have asked your guest something and they've reacted in a very interesting way. It could be they've reacted in a funny way or gave like a funny response or an especially clever response or an especially short and snappy response. The idea here is to capture anything that was, in the moment, that wasn't necessarily planned for, but actually after the fact makes for an awesome piece of image content. So the next one is host monologue quotes. Now, here's the thing. It's not just your guests who are adding value. You, as a host, are probably adding a lot of value as well. See if you can catch yourself going on a mini monologue of sorts where you've actually encapsulated a lot of value, like back to back, in a way that this part in itself could actually be something that's worth sharing. And again, you're going to do that from a value-adding perspective, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. This one takes a little bit more time, but could definitely be worth it. Making a collage of different quotes. Perhaps your shows always end with the same question, or perhaps you're just covering the same topic, in different ways on different episodes. Try and find any commonalities that you can create a collage image around. And of course, the benefit of that is you get to tag all the different people that participated in it and share the love with them. Of course, one of the OGs of image content, guys, is infographic content. So being able to create an infographic around anything in particular that was discussed within the episode is definitely something that's worth doing, especially if you believe that a picture is 1,000 words and that you'll be able to create a very resonant and memorable message by displaying something visually as a standalone image versus maybe something that just happened in conversation. Another one you can do is asking the same question, explicitly the same exact question, to multiple different guests on your show and seeing how they respond to all of those questions, and maybe creating that as a quote, series of quotes that people can swipe through, or even just one collage where they can see a lot of different quotes in the one image. Sometimes mid-conversation with your guests, you may also come across that killer one-liner that they drop mid-episode. That could be an awesome piece of content to actually showcase in and within itself as well. You can also do a quarter wrap-up collage series based on different guests that you've had throughout the quarter and some of the best of moments that you've had, and really kind of looking at ways to string those together to once again create a new piece of content, highlighting all the good times that you've had throughout the quarter, focusing on those guests. Last but not least, you can also create a cliffhanger image quote. What that means is basically focusing on a specific question or discussion point that was discussed within the episode, but not giving the answer, and actually opening that up to your audience and seeing how they would answer that question using their own expertise, using their own personal experiences. It's an excellent way to really engage the people in the conversation and make them part of that show. So we hope those were useful for you to give you some ideas and inspiration, and we'll see you on the next video.